Welcome to the live stream. Let me know if that audio is a little hot. It might be. But anyway, welcome to the live stream. My name is Keith, and this is Life Journey Production Studios. I just want to say welcome. If you're watching this live, thank you for joining me. We do have, turn this down just a little bit. We do have chat only on tonight, so if you subscribe, you can chat. We'd love to hear from you. Please say hi in the chat. If you haven't been on with me live in the past, please let us know where you're from. And then if the rest of you guys would like to let people know where you're from, that would be great, but please say hi down there. In a few minutes, I will put the chat on the screen, and if you'd like to learn how to do chat on the screen, you can actually go to my YouTube channel right here and look at that series. Aaron Parecki kind of modified a Google plugin for Google Chrome, and now you can actually use that in OBS, and you can then put that on the screen. So a little complicated, really difficult to try to demo in the middle of a live stream, but the cool thing is it is available. So once you use that or bring that plugin into your Google Chrome as an extension, then you'll be able to use that when you pop out the chat. So basically, the way YouTube works is that you create a live stream, you can go live right away, or you can time it for later. But once you have that live stream created, you can then go into the live menu, and then at the upper right-hand corner of the chat, you can pop the chat out. There's three little dots up there. And then once you have it popped out, you can pull it to whatever screen. I pull it down here to my Wacom One tablet. And then you take the little URL, you copy it that's in that pop-out chat in the top right, which is what happens once you have the plugin installed in Chrome. Then you can actually paste that in to the chat in extension inside OBS. And again, all that's explained in my video series. Not a lot of people are watching that series, but I did want to put that on the channel because it took me a while to learn how to do that, but now I know how to do that. So, and then when you see my SkyCam, I'm also using OBS to put my SkyCam up so I can size it in OBS. I can then project it onto my Blackmagic Design input. And that is input number 3 in my extreme ISO. And then I can use a little macro that I created, and I can turn that chat on. I have one that's for on and one that's for off. And if you've never created macros, it's one of the great advantages of having the Blackmagic Design ATEM. The other streaming devices that they have is that you can actually create macros, and then also you can create macros or types of macros using a Stream Deck and other tools as well. And so I mainly use the macros inside the control software by Blackmagic Design, and then I make those macros, and then I use a app for iOS devices called Mix Effect, and then I can actually use those macros. So right now I have my tablet right here, and I can turn chat on the air, and there's my original welcome chat. And so I can just use my Wacom tablet, which is just another screen. It's like a touch screen, but you can only activate things with this little pin. And so I can turn these off and on the air, and that's off the air now. And then I can simply say, hi. David popped in just to say, have a good show. And actually, David and I have a Zoom tomorrow. I'm excited about that. So good to see you here momentarily, David. If you're not here tonight and you watch it later, thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Also have Freddie here tonight. Thanks for joining me, Freddie, as always. Freddie's mobile. Thanks for letting me know, Freddie, watching on the phone. That's totally cool. Obviously, he was excited about the SkyCam. Freddie's a big SkyCam fan. And again, that's my face cam, which we're going to talk about tonight. I'm using it as a SkyCam in the intro, so I can put that still image up, and I'll pop that up right now. That's the still image for the live show, and I can replace my SkyCam freeze frame there with the regular SkyCam. And so if I turn SkyCam back on and chat off, then I can bring that on the air, and there I am live And so that's the sky cam. We're going to talk about the face cam. I actually have a blur feature turned on tonight, and that's what we're going to talk about. So we will turn that back off the air, and we will go back to camera 2. And let me set the chat back up here so that we can do that. So Freddie likes the sky cam, and let's just say hi to the rest of you guys here tonight. Good to see you here, David. Thanks for joining us. Always good to see you from down under in Australia. And again, go on over and see his channel and learn about photography and see some incredible videos. He hires talent and some great pictures over on David's channel. And then David Butterfield is still here. So David's from Tacoma, Washington. Thanks for joining us, David. David reached out to me, and we're actually going to have a free Zoom consult tomorrow. Very excited about what he has going. And he's also in IT. So that's exciting because a lot of people have been attending my live streams that are in IT and working in broadcasting and really teaching me things as I pop over to those channels. So let us know, David, if you have a channel that we can visit and hang out at. Also, we got Tony here from Quick Tech Solutions, another great channel. And I really like the community. I hope it will grow quite a bit more. We're going to have 2 shows tonight, the live show and then the post show. Grandpa Jones will be joining me for the post show. We're going to talk about my process that I go through to get ready for a live stream. We're actually going to go into Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to recreate my still image for tonight's post show. I'm going to recreate the timer intro, and we're going to render that. Hopefully it won't crash the computer tonight because I'm also using it to monitor the live stream. And then we're going to take that into Adobe Premiere Pro. All this is in the post show, and we will then render it Apple ProRes, and then that's what you put on the HyperDeck disc in order to play it in the live stream. And if you watch the intro tonight for the live show, which we're in right now, then you got to see my HyperDeck Studio HD Plus playing tonight's intro. It'll play tonight's outro. It'll also play the intro and the outro for the post show. And we'll try to hit that post show tonight on time, which means we will be out of here at 10 after and on again in the post show at 20 after. So again, tonight we're going to be talking about the face cam, the update, the ability to integrate in some of the cool features that NVIDIA has in their GeForce cards. If you have a 20 series or a 30 series GeForce card, you're able to download a plugin for NVIDIA, which will activate these effects. And again, I did already have that effect on my face cam tonight. It's a blur effect. And so if you may not know this, you know, when you have a web camera and you don't have a really expensive lens, you don't get that blurred background effect. And so that's one of the things that NVIDIA offers, and there's a lot of gamers already using it. They're using it to stream through different gaming platforms, and you can access that those video effects in other ways. But the cool thing is that Elgato has now incorporated into their Camera Hub app. And so once you download 1.3 version of the Camera Hub app, which I did today, and once you download the video effects from the NVIDIA site, which we're going to look at here shortly, and combine it all together, then you can do some pretty cool things. And I'll do my best tonight in the live show to demo all of that. But with chat on the screen, I have to make some changes, and I'll lose chat for a little while, and hopefully we'll be able to get it back up before the end of the show. So if you do have any questions about the face cam, Elgato came out with a face cam, and it's a pretty cool tool. Let's do this right here. We'll go into this view, and I should be able to give you this little demo right here. If I can get my streaming bridge working here. So this is information on the face cam, and I'm just going to let this scroll. You can play this back later, but this is right from their site. And this is all the information. I can pop that up on the full screen. You can see it back here behind me if I went to the other shot. But there's some updates that have been happening to the Elgato FaceCam app. It was the best camera, really, web camera out there. Most people on the internet and on YouTube and different channels were saying. And it has some competition tonight, thanks to a link that was sent to me by Freddie, who's here tonight. I was able to do some research, and I'll talk about if I'm going to get this new web camera. But you can play this back later and read all of this, but this is directly from their site, and talks about the FaceCam and the features it has and the ability it has. You can see right there, it can do 1080p 60. It's not a 4K camera. And the competition we're going to look at a little bit later is a 4K camera. But it has a 1/4 mount. It has all of these nice features. It'll support resolutions from 1080p all the way down to 540 at 30 frames per second. It's got a 24 millimeter focal view, and you can see some of the other things right here. And you do really want to get a USB-C 3 or higher. But that is kind of all the information about that FaceCam. And rather than reading all that information, we'll just let it scroll up the screen, and we'll talk just a little bit about what you can do with the FaceCam. So now, if you don't know anything about the FaceCam, let me put a still up here again. Let's do me and slides here. Let's see, this one right here. So let's see what happens when I do this. Yeah, so that's the FaceCam. Sorry about the position, but I just want to throw it up there. So that's the FaceCam, and it has this kind of mount that goes on the bottom of it, but it also has the ability to just attach it to different mounts. You can see right here on the screen. And I really like it because it's got a really good picture. It does not have any focusing, so you have to have it between 1 foot and 4 feet from you. So it's perfect for a sky cam. The camera we're going to talk about a little bit later does really literally have focusing. It's also 4K, and it has some other really cool features. And we're going to talk more about that in a future live stream. But I really wanted to focus on some of the upgrades to this device because it has been upgraded to be able to do some other really cool things. And they've been adding more and more performance to this device, and that's pretty exciting. So, and now if you did not know what it looks like, this is basically what it looks like, and the image, and that's got the blur effect on, and tonight's the first time I can use it. And the updates show you that there are other effects up in the left-hand corner, and those activate once you have downloaded and installed the software from both NVIDIA and also from change this back to multi-view, from NVIDIA also to the FaceCam 1.3 camera hub update. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can use a cam link with a DSLR, which is pretty exciting. If you think about this, not only can you use your FaceCam, you can also use the cam link, plug in a DSLR that has a clean HDMI out using the cam link, which also needs a 3.0 USB port. And then now you can use your DSLR as a webcam, and you can choose it as a input in the camera hub by Elgato, and then you can use those effects as well. So now I can blur the background by changing the aperture on my camera, because I have a DSLR. This is a Canon 5D Mark IV, and then this camera right here is a EOS R. And so either one of these can actually change the aperture, because the lenses are L lenses and EF lenses by Canon, and they can really dim the background. I like to have you able to see the TV back there, as well as my shelf, as well as the Batmobile diorama, even though I don't have it lit up tonight, and then also be able to see what's going on here. And now you can see what I'm streaming at, and then also I'm recording now. I just pushed record, but normally I just let what goes up to YouTube go up to YouTube, and I can see that we're live right here on my laptop. So The face cam is just one option if you want to go live. And a lot of people check out my channel because they do learn about things like face cam, as well as the ATEM Mini Pro that I have in the studio, as well as my Extreme ISO. And we talked about maybe adding another Blackmagic Design ATEM product, and that hasn't happened yet. I'm still doing my research and listening to some of the rumor mills out there that what might be coming out. But there's lots of different options, and you can go from a face cam directly into OBS or any other kind of computer-based streaming software. So, and we're going to actually kind of look at computer-based streaming software, OBS, in the post-show and talk just a little bit about some of the things you can do with that. You don't have to use it just to go live. You can use some of the features built into OBS. It's free. And I use the countdown clock feature every single week that I do my intro videos. And I also use OBS to pop good night on the screen and then resize it and move it around the screen as I'm recording my intro and my outro video. So they are recorded. I'm not doing that stuff live, but we are going to do some stuff with OBS in the post show. And again, the post show is going to be co-hosted by Grandpa Jones. And if you don't know anything about my co-host, then check it out in the post show at around 5:20. So it's 20 after now. Let's go back into the chat and see who else is here, as well as chat a little bit before I start changing things in my studio and showing you some of the website stuff on the updates to Facecam with the camera hub, as well as the NVIDIA information on the video effects that you need to download as well if you want to use this feature inside Elgato Camera Hub for both your cam link or as well as your Facecam. And you can have more than one Facecam if you have a powerful PC or a powerful Macintosh and you have a number of 3.0 USB-C ports. So, okay, so let's go back into chat on the air. And let's see, Ashley Trelly, it's good to have you tonight. Is that going to pop up there? What did we do here? Chat on the air. Let's go back. I lost my chat here. What did we do? Chat. Let's tap on one of these. There we go. So welcome. Evidently, Ashley, your icon doesn't show up. We've had that issue before. If it's a transparent PNG, a lot of times they don't work on the chat plugins. And if you change it to a JPEG, I believe that's what works. Freddie, you changed yours, and now Freddie's pops up. And he's saying, hi, David, there. So originally we had no Freddie picture. So Freddie let Ashley know in the chat how you did that. It's great to have you here tonight. And I guess Ashley's connected to Joe and you have me on the big screen. So that's a little scary, but I'm glad you joined us, and hopefully we will have Joe with us here shortly as well. Then we have Lieutenant A.K. Allen. Howdy. It's good to have you here tonight. And then we are going to talk about this camera in a bit. He just let the cat out of the bag. I don't know what that has to do with here. I don't see any cats, but we are going to talk just a little about the competition to the Facecam, and that is the Insta360. I might as well pop that up. Again, there's different versions of the Insta360. The one we're going to talk about tonight, I'm just going to throw this up here right over top of me. Actually, let's turn chat off the air here for a second. But we are going to talk just a little bit about the Insta360 Link tonight, and we'll get back to that just a little bit later in the live stream tonight. So anytime you want to bring a USB camera into your live stream, you're going to have to bring it in through your Mac or your PC, whatever you use to edit. You can use that coming HDMI out and into your ATEM Extreme or your YOLO box, or if you actually are inside using OBS to stream from, or any other software that runs from a Mac or a PC, then you're going to be able to do that as well. And there's some items, we're going to talk about those in the next couple weeks. There's some other things that you can use to get graphics from a PC into an ATEM Mini Extreme and ISO, or a ATEM Mini Pro, ATEM Mini Pro ISO, the new SDI versions, the new MEs. You can bring different things in from your computer. You can use Thunderbolt, and you can use a device like a DeckLink card. You can create a little DeckLink box, or if you have a PC or a Mac, you could add the DeckLink Duo card into your PC, and then you're able to send SDI out or bring in cameras in. And so obviously, if you already have a USB camera inside your PC or your Macintosh as a webcam, then you could route that into a input in your ATEM, whatever type ATEM you have, or a YOLO box. So keep in mind that there is a way to integrate these web cameras. You just, either if you don't have a YOLO box, which has a web camera USB input, if you only have an ATEM, it does not have a USB input. None of the MEs have it. None of the new SDI versions of the ATEMs have it. The older ATEM Mini, all the way up to the Extreme ISO, the HDMI input versions, they do not have the ability to bring a webcam in, even though they will act like a webcam out. So you can use almost all of those devices, including, believe it or not, the new HybridX, the HD, the 4K, as well as the 8K, as well as the HybridX Studio HD Plus. It has the webcam out, and so do the ATEMs. So you can come out of those. So bringing in DSLR cameras in, or computers into the different inputs, and then you can go out as a webcam and stream through Zoom. You can stream. I use it all the time. In fact, tomorrow I will do my Zoom, sending everything in my studio that goes into my ATEM will go in via the USB-C out of my Extreme ISO into my laptop, and then I can send that out as a camera in Zoom. And I can change cameras, just like right now in Zoom. I could change between camera 1 and camera 2, even though I would change my lighting when I use that camera. But I can switch back and forth. I even have my overhead camera. So if I need to show my desk, I will turn that camera on here and then cut to it. My mic is going to be in the way, but here's what you get. This is my overhead camera. So I can actually cut to that overhead camera when I need to. When I'm doing a Zoom call, I don't put chat on the screen. So it's a little confusing when I'm live, because I'm using the same ATEM Mini Pro to bring in my Apple TV, to bring in my Camera 3, to bring in my PC as an OBS input, so I can put chat on the screen. And so I have to switch that up when I'm demoing live. It's just a little easier if I'm doing Zoom, because I don't need to use chat on the air when I'm in a Zoom call, because we're talking back and forth. But like tonight, to let other people know what you're saying and to put it on the screen just to acknowledge it, or to use it for super chats. When someone gives a super chat, obviously the etiquette is to pop it up. And a lot of people wonder why we do chat on the air. Well, because the etiquette in a super chat or a super sticker is to display it and say thank you, and to answer that question when it comes up. That's the biggest reason why I went to chat on the air and chat on the screen, to interact and make sure that I was ready to acknowledge any super chats or super stickers when I was live. When I hit over 1,000 subscribers, you can then use that feature, and people actually can send you funds as they ask questions, which is really cool. So that's just one way for me to support a channel. And I've been doing that in other live streams for a long time, the ones that I attend pretty much every week. And one of those I try to attend as often as I can is Aaron Precky's on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. He'll even go live when he's remote with his company, which is pretty cool. And usually he's using a YOLO box when he's live remotely at different locations, as well as using ATEM products by Blackmagic Design when he's in the studio. So great live stream on Aaron Parecki's channel, and hopefully one day we will see him in the chat live here. So, okay. So let's put chat back in the air. Let's just catch up. Hope that answers your question, Lieutenant A.K. Allen, that you can use the PC through OBS to bring your webcam in, and you can size it and put it on the screen. And that's what I did when I made it very small up here. You just resize it in OBS, then you project it into the input. It'll be in your multi-view on the screen if it's on the air, and then you can share it by using a key. And so you're only showing that one part. Same way I'm showing this logo, I can also put my Skycam up here, and I'll do that again here in the minute because I'm going to be displaying some of the different things that you can do with the new NVIDIA Video Effects plugin using the new 1.3 version of the Camera Hub by Elgato, and that update's available right now for you to download if you have a FaceCam or if you're using a Cam Link. And if you don't know what a Cam Link is, I usually have it stashed right here, never ready for my show. This is a Cam Link, USB on one side, HDMI on the other side. Then you can download some free software from Elgato that lets you operate this. So if I was to plug one of my cameras instead of in my ATEM Mini or my ATEM Extreme ISO, I can plug it in here instead, and then I could go live from OBS, or I could use a DSLR as a Skycam into OBS by using one of these. So you got to get it from HDMI to USB-C. So that's how you get into a computer. And then obviously if you have a web camera, then you can get in that way. But the cool thing about the Cam Link is you can have a higher quality lens on a DSLR camera like you're seeing me in right now, and then get the blur effect. So if you don't have a very high-end lens where you can lower the aperture or lower the number, it's actually, when you lower the number on aperture, you're actually letting more and more light in. So focus happens so fast. The background and other things by the size of the chip inside and all of that affects the blur in the background. We call it bokeh, which I think is a Japanese word for blurry. And so there is a blur effect, and we're going to look at that here shortly. So if you wanted a higher end webcam, this is how I started, right? I had this camera after I got this Cam Link, and I was streaming from my camera into my Cam Link, and I was going live in OBS years ago now, and that's why I keep this, because I talk about it quite a bit here on the channel. Okay, so back to chat on the air. Let's see. Good to have you, Bill, with us tonight. Pop you up there. And let's see. I think. And Lieutenant A.K. Allen said, thanks. Great information. So hopefully that explains it, because really one of the things that I want to spend some time on the channel later this summer is I want to spend a little bit more time in OBS. We are going to touch OBS in the post show, but in the live show, I do want to take you through OBS. It is freeware. You can download it. It's gotten better and better since I used it over 2.5 years ago. Live streaming with my Cam Link. And as PCs get faster and your PC gets fast, or your Mac or your M1, whatever you have, as they get higher tech, then they're able to do even more. In fact, artificial intelligence and effects with NVIDIA is just getting bigger and bigger and badder and badder. And now they have the 300 series cards, and those cards are even crazier fast. And I don't have one. My son has one next door right back there. He has one. He has an NZXT computer, and he bought one of those cards. And so he has a 3 series card. I have a 2 series in my laptop, my Asus Duo, and I have a 2 series in my NZXT PC, which is a desktop, and that's as fast as my video cards are, even though right now on my list is a new, faster Asus Duo, because I pull this out of here 3 days a week. I'm working off-site right now, so my laptop goes with me, and I'm editing video remotely. And so I'd like to leave this here, or take this one with me and leave the faster laptop here in the studio. I may not get the Duo. We'll see. So, okay. So, Freddie says he just changed to a JPEG. So I think, there you go. Ashley's up. So we solved this mystery a while back, but we haven't really talked about it. So with the Aaron Parecki Chrome extension plugin, right? So if you go into Chrome right now, let me just go into my browser here. And again, I demo this inside. Let's see, I need to open up another Chrome search. And let me go, Aaron. And someone actually took Aaron's chat plugin and took it to the next level. Let me see. I got videos on it. That's not Aaron's. I'm trying to find Aaron's chat. Oh, it's not popping up here, but the link is inside my my pop-out chat video series. It's not coming up here right now. So many people now are making versions of this and trying to get on the download queues for everybody, so it's hard to find his now. But again, there are other versions of this chat plugin. Right now, Aaron's was predominantly made for YouTube streaming. There is a version of that he actually talks about on his channel that added Facebook and other live streaming apps that you can pop chat out. Because I only stream on YouTube, I use it specifically right here in the chat. Okay, so Bill Sereno says, OBS bot makes a webcam to HDMI conversion box so that you can connect without a computer. That's cool. Thanks for sharing that, Bill. So I will try to figure out where that is and put a link in the notes tonight. In the next, hopefully, evening, we'll see. I have guests coming over a little bit later tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But at least we got Ashley's face on the screen. That's really cool. So not only did we welcome her, you can actually see her little thumbnail in her chat. So, okay. Well, so what I want to do now is I want to look a little bit closer at my desktop here. So we're going to open up Elgato here first. So let's do this. So this is the Elgato site where you're going to go to download the camera hub. And you can see right here is version 1.3. I can increase the size of this by hitting Control plus and decrease the size by hitting Control minus on a PC. And so you can see that this is version 1.3, and there's also a Stream Deck mobile app, and I do have this app, haven't been using it a lot, but it is on my phone. So you want to download this version, and so you can just click right here. You'll be choosing between Mac or PC version, and then once you download it, you're going to install it, and then you need to go over here to NVIDIA, and you need to download this, and these links, I believe, are already in the description tonight. If not, they will be here tonight. So then you scroll down here, and actually there's a couple effects that you can bring into your computer. The video effects, and here's where you're going to decide which cards you have. I have two series, and you can see I downloaded the second option right here, video effects, and then I downloaded this, installed it. It is a plugin in the NVIDIA graphics card drivers in my computer. And then once you reboot, after you've downloaded and installed the new version 1.3 of the camera hub, right? Then you can combine that and get those effects. So what does this effect offer you? The ability to do different backgrounds. You can do a fake green screen behind you. You can do the blur effect. You can remove the background behind you altogether. Obviously, it's going to be contingent on how fast your laptop or your PC, your Mac is, your MacBook Pro, whatever you're using, that's going to be how well it works. And then your lighting, right? Because the better light you have on you, the easier it is to separate your background from you. And obviously, I could put a green screen in here. I've done it before. But I just really am talking about the blur effect because I like it when I'm using my SkyCam. That's why I installed it. I just want to add that bokeh blur effect to my face cam when I'm using it for a SkyCam. Now, I am planning on possibly upgrading my SkyCam and using my face cam as another downward camera for my Zoom calls, so I can just cut to it. So we'll wait and see, but I have been doing research and we already talked about the camera that we're going to look at their website here in just a few minutes. But so 2 steps, right? You have to have one of those 2 cards, either a 2 series card or a 3 series card. So if Nathan or Bryson, my son, wanted to add these effects to his computer, he would download this first link. It says for NVIDIA GeForce RTX 30 series cards. And they are quite a bit more money than the 20 series cards. And I do have a laptop with a 20 series RTX card in it. So the Facecam plugin from NVIDIA works with my laptop and my PC. And both of them have NVIDIA 20 series cards in them. And I am also eventually going to update my PC and probably sell my previous NZXT computer. And one of my top performing videos was unboxing my son's NZXT computer. So there's lots of people that like to see upgrades on those PCs by NZXT. And what NZXT is they're just a place that's very well known in the gaming community that you can kind of build your own PC. They give you some options and you can upgrade cards, you can upgrade memory, you can upgrade drives, you can add LED lights inside, you can add different type coolings, all kinds of cool effects, and their cases are really cool. They even have some specialized cases that have been designed around a specific game. And so it's pretty cool. So check out NZXT Computers, and I will put a link to their site. Again, none of these videos are sponsored, but I do like to talk about the products that have really worked well for me. And so not only is the Facecam cool, you need to have fast PC or a Mac to operate it. And again, 3.0 ports at least to get these higher end webcams to work like they're supposed to work. So, okay, so we're gonna take a look at a slide here real quick. So let me do this. And pop in a slide here. So here is a A/B comparison. I'm not on the screen now. That's because chat's on the air. I think off the air. But anyway, this is a sample of the sensor we're going to look at. The normal webcams are the smaller box. This new webcam has the size of this bigger box. So if we cut back to me, not sure what was happening with SuperSource there. And then we go to this other slide, and I just want to pop this slide up on the screen again full. So the smaller sensor is like pretty much like the Facecam, and the bigger sensor is this new camera right here, and it's called the Insta360 Link. It's actually has hand gestures to control it. You actually can pan and zoom. It will go into portrait mode. It has a security feature that when it times out, it aims straight down, so you don't have to worry about covering it, and it will go right on top of your laptop, right on top of your monitor, and you will be able to then use this. It's got a 4K sensor, and it is pretty incredible when you look at this camera. So we're going to go back here to me and my desktop, and then let's go to the Insta360 site, and let's go back to the features. So here you go. This is the AI tracking. It'll actually AI track you. It's got 4K resolution. So if you do zoom up, it's kind of like the Mevo cameras that have been out for a while. I had a Mevo a while back, and it had a 4K sensor, and then you could crop down to smaller frames and be 1080p, and you could even slide back and forth and go from one shot to the other shot. So set up a wide shot with maybe like a band playing, and then you could crop in to different places on the screen because it was using the wider sensor. This is using that same kind of concept, but mainly for zooming in. It also has a AI tracking, so you can use hand gestures to track. We're going to get a little bit smaller here now and scroll down. So it's got AI tracking built in. Again, it's super clear picture, 4K, and then that would be broadcast at 1080p. It'll do 60 frames per second. It has the ability to change modes. You can use gestures to zoom in and zoom out. You literally can use this gesture, and as you move your hand up, it'll zoom in. As you move your hand down, it will zoom out. And there's other gestures as well. So not only does it do tracking, it does hand gestures. And then it also has a whiteboard feature, which I think is really cool. Let's see, this is again the sensor. So it has a 1/2 inch sensor where webcams typically have a smaller sensor. It'll do HDR, so you can choose HDR if you want more dynamic range. It's AI powered, so it'll actually track and follow, and then you can actually have it find you and keep you centered. And then it also has the whiteboard function, and it will then zoom into the whiteboard while you're writing on it. All you have to do is put those little markers on it on the corners, and then you can use this dynamically as a teacher, or if you want to just draw on a whiteboard, now this camera will actually follow your hand motions and go directly to the whiteboard, and it's really, really cool. So again, it'll shoot straight down, and you can use it as a sky camera, and it also can move around the room, which is really cool feature. My face cam is static. I have to adjust it if I want to. So imagine going from my sky camera, which is on a Manfrotto arm, and going to something like this that you could actually pan and tilt. It's pretty incredible, and it'll also aim down and go portrait if you want to do some other live streaming software and be in portrait mode, which is really, really cool for people that are going to do shorts on YouTube or shorts on other video platforms. You want to be in a portrait mode when you shoot those videos. So pretty incredible. Here is the whiteboard feature and the hand gestures. And so what's going to happen now is that this would actually zoom into the whiteboard. I don't think there's a video to demo that. Is there? And you can see it's, there you go. So it's actually going to go in and let you write on the whiteboard, which is totally cool. Now, I know we're talking about Facecam features, but because Freddie sent me this link and I was planning this video anyway, here I have another camera that I'm looking at. So news be told, I actually tried to order this camera. I used my company card and they rejected it, so I didn't order it. So Freddie, if you're still watching, I was literally pulling the trigger on this camera. It's called the Insta360 Link, and I was going to have it as a new Skycam here in the studio, and then I was going to take my Facecam camera with me when I go outside of my office for a live streaming camera on location. They declined my credit card. I called my credit card company. They said there is no declined charges on your credit card. I put the information in 2 or 3 times. I use this card all the time, and yet it was denied. So I'm still trying to sort this out. I did notice you can pre-order on B&H. So I will probably end up pre-ordering this on B&H Photo, and then when they get stock in, they would send it to me. So you can see that if you want to just be on your feet and get this camera to track you, you can use hand motions. And I think they're going to be adding more and more features like that to this Insta360 camera. So there's a close-up of it. Great for gamers. Watch it go into privacy mode. There you go. It just dropped into privacy mode. That's another great feature. And it also has intelligent noise canceling. It's got two little microphones on the front of it. And I put a video link in the description tonight of a great video on this camera. And I actually believe he demos that feature. And once I get one, I will do a complete video on it. So very, very high quality picture. I'm very impressed. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. So back to what we're here to talk about tonight, and that is the face cam and that blur feature. So if I was to bring it on the screen right now, so let's go into my chat function and let's turn the face cam on, and then I'm going to now put it in the lower box here and try to be on the screen at the same time. So there it is. And you can see behind me, there's kind of a blur effect, and I can crank that blur effect up. Let's make that a little smaller just so it's not blocking me. And again, it's because I'm using this in my ATEM Mini. I don't have it routed into my PC right now, so I can't bring it in as a super source, but I can overlay it like this. And so, and I think if I cut to camera 2, it'll go away. So we'll leave that on. Try camera 1. So yeah, it's still the wrong direction. So let me blur this differently here. So let me bring up the Camera Hub app, and then I'm going to increase this blurriness so you guys can see it. So as I increase this, the background will get even more and more blurry. I can also, and this may take a few seconds, it does use PC power, I can get rid of the background altogether. You can see it's kind of crazy. I can use one of the built-in backgrounds. And again, you got a little flickering going on up here, but then it dials into me. And as long as I'm not doing a lot of motion, you can see me in a different background. Again, this is that intelligent AI accessing chips on the NVIDIA GeForce cards. And as we get higher end cards, we're going to see better AI effects and video effects as well. And they'll be able to distinguish what is what. So different backgrounds that I can bring in here. And I could also add a green screen and then put a green screen behind me and then use that in a different device. So can also turn it completely off. And now there is no blur in my studio and my Skycam. And now I will go ahead and bring this full screen so you guys can see it full screen. We'll go ahead and go that big. Then I'll add back in these effects. Again, here's that effect. Here is the blur effect. I will crank this all the way down at 0. That's kind of the way I like it. So you can see now that the things behind me are a little bit blurred. So if there's something on the screen you didn't want anybody to see, here's how you can do it by using the blur effect. So using those options and using that plugin, you're able to do some pretty incredible things inside your studio. I can't take my computer back over here. So let's go back here and turn chat back on the air. Off the air, chat on the air. And let's just catch up and see if you guys have anything to say. Great to see you, DJ Ware. Thanks for joining me. Greetings all. Cajoling Technologies. Hey, Keith, sorry I'm late. Had to finish something for work. That's perfectly fine. Joe, it's great to have you. You're probably a little bit more excited about the post show, Joe, because Ratso is going to, not Ratso, I'm sorry, Grandpa Jones is going to join us tonight in the post show. Yeah, I would do your research, David. Pretty incredible camera, half sensor. The technology of USB-C is getting faster, 3.0, so you'll have to check out some of the videos. I do have a link here below, and you can see how noisy it is. I was amazed at how crisp that camera is at 4K, and then obviously as you stream at 1080p, it's downsampling that 4K size of the sensor, but I really love the abilities that you can do with it and how it can track you, and obviously having a 4K sensor picking you up when you're moving around or a whiteboard. And actually, remember when we try to use a whiteboard in a camera in Zoom, it doesn't have the technology or the ability to be able to keep that thing clear so you can read the fonts. I think that's why Insta360 came out with this camera, because now if you put those little markers on your whiteboard, it actually adjusts the focus for the whiteboard. And now you're just standing there writing on it. And with a hand signal, it can be back on you. And with a hand signal, it can be back on the whiteboard. And I'm sure they're going to speed up that technique as time goes on. So we'll see what kind of noise it has. There's some noise definitely without really good light with my face cam. And I'm sure that this sensor being bigger, it's going to perform quite a bit better. That's my hope. So yeah, Freddie, very cool face camera app now, and that's a very cool Insta360 camera as well. And they have other cameras. You can check out their website, but I'm pretty excited about getting one of those just to have it as a camera around my studio, especially if I don't want to fire up my ATEM Mini Extreme or ISO and just go in Zoom. I can use my face cam and I can use the instant cam to be my desk camera, and that's kind of what I'm planning to do. Once I get an even faster PC inside my studio, I will be able to probably use both of those. We'll see. Using two USB-C 3.0 cameras is a little bit redundant for me right now because I have so many things plugged in. A Rodecaster Pro, I have a Thunderbolt hub, and so all kinds of things plugged in here in the studio. So really having a dedicated PC for my cameras and doing Zoom from my PC is probably the best scenario. That's why my face cam is plugged into my PC as well. And I bring it in to my ATEM Mini Pro so I can bring it on the air through input number 3 in my Extreme ISO. So, man, a lot to talk about. So let's just go here. Joe says, cool camera. Awesome. Freddie says he has to go. We'll talk to you later, Freddie. And Joe says, yay, puppets. So the interesting thing, guys, is that technology is changing every single day. It's why I want to talk about it. I'm not going to buy everything on my channel. My wife and I just had this conversation. I want to buy things strategically that help me expand my studio, but I also have my business. So now that if I'm purchasing equipment, I'm thinking about what can stay in studio and what can go remote. Again, I'm working 3 days a week right now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and extra days occasionally with an RV dealership. And if you want to know how to buy an RV, I talked about that 2 weeks ago in the post show. But I got to figure out now what I'm going to unbox and show in my studio, because I'm not getting sponsors sending me the equipment that I would purchase. And if I was going to have a sponsor, it would need to be equipment that I want to add to my studio, because I'm not really looking to be on my live streams doing commercials for products that I don't want to own myself. Even if they want to give it to me, I've already said no to some obscure brands over the years just because I already have a microphone or already have some headphones that I use in my studio, and I probably wouldn't use their products. And so if I'm not going to use their products, it's really hard for me to recommend them, even if I can get those products for free. Now, at some point, someone will contact me and they'll have maybe a product like Elgato that I do want to do an unbox and do want to have in my studio, and getting it free for a video would be great. I still would give my opinion, and I've been studying the FaceCam now for a long time. I love the updates. I love that it's getting better. I love that they're integrating features. Remember, the cool thing is the integration from NVIDIA is inside the camera hub. So they're all in the same thing. And if you don't know anything about Elgato, you can use the FaceCam with the Stream Deck. So you can automate things. So you could probably eventually, and I haven't tried yet, get a plug-in to turn this feature on and off, to turn blur on and off, to do a background, and it's pretty incredible what you're going to be able to do with products like this. And I'm really excited to see what happens with the Insta360 camera and to take a look at their support software, because just because the product works really good, if the software doesn't, and if there isn't a fast enough computer chip inside the camera or the product, then you can't do the updates that you would really like to see. And that's what really changes version 2, version 3, and version 4, is because people are asking for updates and they get to sell new versions of it, like Blackmagic Design and all of the products that they've come out with, actually before what happened in 2020 and then after. But everything changed about streaming, working from home, USB webcams, all of that has increased its popularity, and more people are actually going live from different apps, as well as different tools like the YOLO box, like using action cameras and streaming directly from them. And even the new Canon cameras have the ability to stream directly from them if you want to download special software from Canon. And more cameras are building streaming inside of them. So it is just crazy what's happening out there with the world of live streaming and conferencing, as well as vlogging, which is kind of dying. And more people are live streaming, less and less people are vlogging. But there's still plenty of videos on products out there, including here on my channel. In fact, I just did a video on the DJI mic kit. I had the mic kit in the studio last week as a separate mic. I don't have it right now because it's in my backpack, and it goes with me when I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to be able to shoot videos from my iPhone. So check out that video. You can get Filmic Pro, and you can use your newer iPhones, even your newer Google phones, all the other phones that are Android. The cameras are great now, and you can actually then use good audio by using a number of mics that are out there available by companies like DJI, like Rode, and there's so many other brands out there, like the new Lark wireless microphones, the Wireless Go version 1 and 2, and then now you have DJI jumping in with a very quality mic kit, and that's what I own now in my mobile kit. So also, I'm finishing a video on the Light Chaser Pro Bipolar Pro case, which is on my phone, and then the attachments. Almost done with that video shooting, and then I'll edit it, and hopefully I'll have that up. Be working on that tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have that up in the next week, and you can learn a little bit more about how I have ND filters and circular polarizer available for my iPhone 13 Pro, not the Max, but they make a case for both. So check that out as well, as it's released on my channel. So, well, guys, that's about all I have for the FaceCam. If you have any questions about the FaceCam, or you want to talk more about the Insta360 Link, which is what it's called, we'll pop that up here again on the screen. So there's a camera on the side of me. This is their website. So you could go to Insta360.com. And then again, like I said, I put in the chat. Let's cut back to me and a logo. Let me find this video. One of the guys that I learned about the FaceCam from originally did a video, and that's in the links below. I do not have that open right now to show it to you. Where did me and my desktop macro go? There we go. So a great camera. The FaceCam also is a great tool. So make sure you go download the FaceCam camera hub if you have one, and then update your NVIDIA apps if you want to add in these effects. make sure you download what card you have. If you do not have a 20 series or a 30 series NVIDIA GeForce card, then this is not going to work for you. It is specific to those cards, and I would highly recommend that you get a NVIDIA card if that's an option for you. Get one of these cards. Even if you get a 20 series, they've come down in price. So check out the 20 series card, the 30 series cards, and I'm sure we're going to see new cards coming up very soon. There's also some audio effects available. I have not downloaded this yet, but NVIDIA has audio effects, and you can actually bring these in now. Like years ago, I had lots of different sounds and effects I could bring into Pro Tools, into Studio One by PreSonus, and then you have apps available like GarageBand, and these plugins are actually usable in these higher end DAWs for music editing and music finalizing. You can even bring in these effects available through NVIDIA free by that download into Adobe Audition and use them as a plugin there. I have a whole thumb drive full of high-end plugins I rarely use anymore because I'm not producing high-end music. Now, if I do any voiceover, I might pull out that disc and use one of those plugins, but there's so many good features now available in Adobe Audition as well as in some of those apps. You don't really need to buy these high-end plugins anymore, but NVIDIA has jumped on the bandwagon and giving gamers and live streamers extra audio effects and video effects. So download those for free and use those with your cards. Again, they are video card specific, series specific. So 20 series download right here, 30 series download right here, and then you also have AR over here, and I have not even dove in or even looked at AR, so I apologize. I know absolutely nothing yet about AR. We'll just see what that is in the future. So, okay, well, we're going to wrap up here unless you have a question or a comment, and I would be happy to address that. So, my haircut takes 10 years off of me. Well, thank you. I'm younger tonight because I don't have my hair that was cut off yesterday. So thank you for noticing that. And yes, the RV gig is over after 3 months. So technically it ends on the 15th of this month. And I have not negotiated an extension. There's a conversation starting right now, and I'm probably going to have a couple weeks off before I make a decision. My oldest son, Christopher, is getting married on the Oregon coast, and the guy I'm working for is actually going to the Oregon coast about 6 days before that, and his kids are getting married as well, and so it's kind of funny that he and I both are going to weddings over the next 2 weeks. He's actually leaving later this week, and then ours is at the 1st of September. So we'll see what takes place in the future. But now that we are able to go out and we're mostly mask free, I can actually have clients work outside of the studio, and I was not able to do that before. So having all of these mobile tools to be able to live stream mobily as well as do podcasting mobily. Remember, I updated my Rodecaster Pro, guys, so I have a Rodecaster Pro that I can use for podcasting outside of the studio. I have 4 microphones I can take outside of the studio, and right now my wife has shut down her podcast until further notice. So I'm actually getting ready to remodel my studio again, and we'll talk more about that in a future live stream. Don't be surprised if everything's gone behind me in a live stream coming up, because when I make this announcement, there will be nothing behind me most likely except for the TV on the wall and what's in the studio, including my monitor, and then we're going to redo the background here, and I hope to share that with many of you as we do that. I do have a leather reclining chair, which was a part of my man cave. I had 3 chairs. I sold 2 of them, which were lift chairs for my father-in-law, and then one for me to be able to do keyboard work off of that big screen there using my PC. And so I had a lift chair. We sold both of those, but I still have this really, really nice leather chair, and I think that's coming back in this corner, and these little chairs are going to go away. And we'll see what we do in here. I'm still brainstorming. I'd love to get your input, so please put your ideas in the chat of what you'd like to see back there. That's a real window, so it's not going anywhere. But these curtains and stuff will probably go away. They were ones my wife picked out for her live stream, and I'll probably pick colors that I like and turn this back into a live streaming room, a broadcast studio, as well as a man cave. So it'll be fun to do that and get your guys' input when we do. So, okay, let's wrap this up by finishing up. Thank you, David, for that great show. I appreciate it. Thank you on the wedding. I'm looking forward to that. We've got lots of details. There's flowers happening out in my studio, shopping going on with the ladies. I am trying to stay as clear as possible, but I am the photographer. I'm thinking about having a DJI Mavic 3 Pro before then, or I'm going to hire someone to come do some drone footage. I have not decided yet. It would be really cool if I could somehow convince one of the guys I love to watch to come and do drone footage, but we'll see. You're welcome. I was able to help DJ Ware with a audio issue. Glad that that got solved. And that was done off camera. And again, if you'd like to email back and forth with me, you can go to lifejourneyproductionstudios.com, go to my contact page, and let me know you want to have a free consult to talk about live streaming tech. I would be happy to help with you. I have one of those going on tomorrow in the morning. And then I actually do have clients that I stay involved with for a month or 2 months or 3 months, depending on what the need is, and get them up and running with live streaming tech right there in their studio. And so the first hour is free. We talk about what it would look like if they decided to buy 3 hours a month to make Zoom calls available with me, or just research or help. And then obviously people on the channel, I love to help as often as I can via email. But if they want to Zoom and have me help more, then they can go and subscribe and then let me know they'd like to have a free consult. So thank you, Joe, for the congrats on the wedding and the hairdresser. And why did my wife stop her podcast? Well, my father-in-law passed away. My wife was kind of already thinking about taking a break from her podcast as YouTube called More About Birth, and a audio podcast that was all over. It's still out there. We still own account at Libsyn. We pay for every month. So that podcast is still available for people to listen to. Easiest way to find it would be to Google More About Birth, Shannon Bennett. That's my wife's name. 2 N's, 2 T's, 2 N's in Shannon. And you can watch that podcast. I appear on it occasionally. My voice is on all of them because I am the producer, executive producer, and a voice in the background. And yes, I was in a podcast with my wife, a midwife, talking about birth stuff, and I'm glad I got a break as well. So that's why we're not doing it right now. And if she does decide to do it, we could easily set up the table. It will be a part of my set. And we can bring in the bar stools from the house, and that's what she uses for her podcast as well. And the background's going to change, so she'll have to live with what's back there. And I'm probably going to get a green screen to be able to pull down that fits in this room. My big green screen in my garage does not fit, so that's why I only can bring it in here if I want to have it cattywampus. And so I want to get a green screen that I could pull down when I'm shooting straight at the back wall, and it's cut to fit this room, so that we could do some green screen work if we want to. Mostly I don't use green screen. We usually use live sets with live people and live backgrounds. So also I'm working with my grandson on the possibility, he hasn't decided yet, of us doing another channel. On that channel, we will still have Ratso and different characters appear, but the whole focus of that channel would be some of these things that we have on the back shelf. He's into collecting now different figures, and that's what that channel will be. I would be helping him build his channel, and I would be appearing on it, and then we're going to take turns keeping these little figures in the studio, and he will add to his smaller collection as we go, but we'll see if he decides that he wants to do that particular channel. Hey, TVJ, it's good to have you, Jay. great live stream yesterday. Lots of cool stuff with you and big trucks and big generators and doing big events with TV companies and all of the talk about satellite and all that crazy stuff that you're a part of as your day gig. That's really cool. So go over and look at that live stream yesterday with TVJ. I caught the end of it. I still plan on watching that whole stream tomorrow as soon as I get back in the house, and other streams that I like to watch. I usually catch up on Wednesday with this new gig outside of the house. So my studio is getting a rebirth. What a great comment, Joe from Controlling Technology. So yeah, my studio is going to get a reboot. I like to keep things fresh. It's been like this for quite a while, and so it will be fun. I obviously changed what's on the shelf behind me, but I don't get to change much the backgrounds, just the chairs and a table occasionally. And again, I took the lamp and moved it over. You can see the lamp in this shot. Let me go wide here. So the lamp is behind me. I can't get out of the way. There is a lamp right here in the corner, and that was on the table here, right here, and I put the Batmobile right here and that diorama. So, well, I'm going to get to the post show and get Grandpa Joe. I don't know where he's at. I got to go find him. Get Grandpa Jones to be here to open up the post show and talk about the whole process that I use to get ready for a live stream. We're going to build together in Adobe Illustrator a thumbnail. We're going to export that. I have to kind of sometimes fix the crop in Photoshop. Then I use that version to bring it into OBS. I add a countdown clock to that. Then I bring that rendered video into Adobe Premiere. I add an animated logo of Life Journey Productions to that. And you'll see that as we go out the outro. And all of that we're going to build. And then I export it in an Apple ProRes file, QuickTime, so that I can bring it into my HyperDeck and play it in my live streams. My intro for the post show and my outro to the post show is kind of what we're going to build together. Even though you're going to see an intro and see an outro, we're going to rebuild all of that stuff from scratch tonight in the post show, and we'll see if that's exciting for you. OBS, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and the HyperDeck all going to be on display tonight in the post show. So thank you so much for joining me live in the live show. I appreciate if you would subscribe if you haven't already. Let's play the subscribe here. And if you have subscribed, you're chatting. If you can't chat, that means you didn't subscribe. I'd love to get more subscribers and build the channel. I'd love to have you share it. Please hit the like button because that really helps the YouTube algorithm. I don't talk a lot about likes, but tonight I'd like some likes. So thank you so much for joining me live. If you know anybody else in your sphere of influence that you think this would be a cool channel for them, let them know. And invite them to join us live in the chat, even maybe tonight in the post show. So I'm going to get Grandpa Jones ready. I heard from him he wanted to be in the live show tonight. I'm not sure what he has up his sleeve, but I'm sure it's going to be embarrassing at some point for me. So join me right after this. And I think I have the new YouTube live link that takes you right to the post show. We'll see how that works tonight. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios, and I'll see you all hopefully in the post show. If not, we'll see you next time right here on Life Journey Production Studios. Peace.